We've seen a lot of sort of casual discussion of impeach Trump. What might he be able to get impeached for? We now actually have Democratic Texas Congressman Joaquin Castro, who is asking Congress to investigate whether President Trump intentionally exceeded his constitutional authority with regard to the majority Muslim country immigration ban. This could hypothetically lead to impeachment proceedings against Donald Trump. But don't get yourself too excited, because even if that succeeded, then Mike Pence might be president of the United States. So the backstory is that the lawfulness of Trump's ban on immigrants from majority Muslim nations was called into question by a federal court. They've put a restraining order on parts of the implementation. We've heard anecdotally that there are some Customs and Border Patrol agents that were continuing to ignore the court order and basically follow the letter of the Donald Trump immigration ban. So here's where the logic is. If Donald Trump in some way directed Border Patrol, Customs and Border, CBP, DHS, whoever, to ignore what the court said in suspending parts of that ban, he may actually be opening himself up to impeachment proceedings. Here is a tweet from Joaquin Castro where he said, quote, "If President Trump ordered CBP to ignore a judicial order, he should be censured as a warning. If he does it again, Congress should remove him." The legal concept at play here is that if Donald Trump is giving orders to DHS or CBP that defy a court order, he is, quote, living in a military junta. Trump's explicit references to the Muslim ban may also actually justify impeachment proceedings with regard to the separation of church and state. This actually isn't the only basis on which impeachment of Donald Trump could be explored. The House could also investigate the possible violation of the Stock Act because of Trump's possibly still lasting involvement with his company. So there's a number of different aspects to this. Bottom line, though, there's so many emails, we get calls when we take live calls. When will Trump be impeached? Sort of two things here. Number one, Trump's impeachment is going to depend significantly on a Republican House. OK, so that is going to be an uphill battle to begin with. And number two, why do we want Mike Pence to be president of the United States? And I know that Trump, because of his ego and his thin-skinned nature, if Donald Trump were to be impeached, it would really be the height of embarrassment for a guy like Donald Trump. But if you have Mike Pence in there, you all of a sudden may see the sort of coalescing of the ideological, religious, conservative aspect of the Republican Party around Pence. And you might actually see more damage get done under a Pence presidency than we may see under Trump.
Yeah, so impeachable offenses include everything from bribery, treason, and other high crimes and misdemeanors.
Not specifically defined, by the way.
Right, and out of that list, I mean, what sticks out to me? Probably bribery. I mean, we don't know his tax returns, what other conflicts of interest he may have.
Indeed.
So out of that list, I think that's the most likely one to happen.
Any House member could start impeachment proceedings. We know we have this Republican majority in the House. The articles of impeachment must be passed. As Pat mentioned, you have to have an agreement that there was a high crime or misdemeanor committed by the president of the United States. And then the conservative Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, John Roberts, would preside over a hearing in the Republican majority Senate, which would have to vote by a 2-3, not 2-3, with a 2/3 majority in favor of impeachment of the president. So maybe Joaquin Castro is trying to make himself look good for 2020. Does it even really matter? I just don't know that we're actually better off with Trump impeached and Mike Pence as president of the United States from a purely practical perspective.
Well, it's interesting because I think these establishment Republicans in Congress would much rather have Pence in charge than Trump. So if impeachment proceedings were to take place, it would come from within his own party.
That's interesting. Republicans themselves may prefer Pence over Trump because maybe they see it as more conducive to them actually achieving all of their legislative goals.
And they may be able to even reach bipartisanship and reach out to Democrats on the other side.
Huh. I see resignation as more likely than impeachment. I see just like if we see the Ninth Circuit uphold the suspension of Trump's immigration ban, if we continue to see everything Trump does just get destroyed. Maybe at a certain point, Trump will say, you know what? I'm out.
Even in his first 2, 3 weeks, we've talked a lot about the comparisons between Trump and Richard Nixon.
Yeah.
He may resign under threat of impeachment.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. That actually seems much more plausible than an actual full impeachment proceeding.
Right. I mean, it's never happened fully.
There you go.
Yeah.
I know that many in our audience are just desperate to start the proceedings, but we have to know, number one, not only how it works, but number two, what the impact would be. And I would not hold my breath waiting for the successful conclusion of impeachment proceedings against President Trump. Warby Parker is offering a free 5-day home try-on to give you the opportunity to check out their glasses. I personally wear Warby Parker glasses when I'm not wearing my contact lenses. And I also started with one of these free at-home try-ons of 5 pairs of glasses. You can get your free home try-on and support the David Pakman Show at warbyparkertrial.com/TDPS. I don't really like going into glasses stores and trying on glasses while the salesperson sort of hovers over me, and I like more than 30 seconds to actually figure out whether I like the glasses. So with the Warby Parker home try-on, I was able to pick 5 pairs that I liked, put them on in the comfort of my own home, pick the one I like the most, and then Warby Parker put my prescription lenses in there for me. A lot of people don't know that the eyeglass industry is controlled by just a few big corporations that keep prices very high, like $300 for prescription glasses high, which is just insane. Warby Parker glasses start at $95. That's what mine cost. And for every pair of glasses sold, Warby Parker distributes a pair of glasses to someone in need. You can try 5 pairs and see what you like. Check out the at-home trial and support our show by going to warbyparker.com/TDPS. It costs nothing.